Welcome General Michael Flynn. General Flynn served in the United States Army.
On June 10th, 2015, Michael Flynn appears at a House hearing that's looking into non-proliferation issues in the Middle East, and he testifies and says the Iran nuclear deal is a bad idea. And he said he'd just come back from a trip to the Middle East, and he said that over there they were talking a lot about their concerns about Russia and other countries spearheading an effort to build nuclear power plants in the Middle East.
Now, what I want is I want the United States of America to be in the driver's seat. I don't want Russia to be talking to Jordan about building nuclear plants. I don't want the Chinese or Pakistan to be talking to the Saudis about building potentially 10 to 15 plants. I don't want the Russians to go over to Egypt and talk to them about building nuclear plants. I want us to be in that driver's seat.
It's a very important moment because 2 weeks later, he goes on a trip to the Middle East, Egypt and Israel, and this trip is paid for by a company called ACU Strategic Partners, a Washington-based firm, and they have an idea in which they'll partner with Russia and other countries to actually spearhead just what Flynn was talking about. So he testified about it and then went over on that trip. The trip became very important because House Democrats have said that he failed to disclose this trip on his security clearance renewal that came up the following year. So they've said this might be a potential violation of the law. As a result, it's become a major focus of the Democratic investigation. They asked Republicans on the committee, who have the authority to issue a subpoena, to do so. Republicans refused. Instead, they passed along the Democratic concerns and allegations to the special counsel, Robert Mueller.
Retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn has a significant problem, and it's why he's the subject of a criminal investigation by the special counsel, a significant problem in a pattern of failing to disclose things to his business partners, to Trump administration officials, as far as we can tell, to the Defense Department, his former employer, and to authorities he was required to disclose meetings and business relationships with, which is the federal authorities and the Federal Agent Registration Act of the Department of Justice. The number of things Michael Flynn didn't tell people is quite striking. The central issue in many of the stories and much of our reporting about Michael Flynn, but especially in this story, is if you are financially staked in a project, you should be letting people know before you testify in Congress. In other instances, you should be letting people know if you have a business relationship or an offer of a business relationship.